Alright guys, it's time to get real. You and I are gonna have a little rap sesh. I can't sit backwards in this chair, but if I could, I'd put my arms across them, get up nice and close to you, and have a real talk. Like that one cool teacher you had in middle school. Or your stepdad Greg. You can learn to love me like a father. Ask your mom what she wants for Christmas. Apologies in advance if I sweat a lot in this video. It's hot, y'all. Also, sorry if this video ends up being super long, but I have a lot to say and this is important to me, dang it. Sorry, didn't mean to shout. Okay, so last week I tweeted out and posted on my YouTube page asking for your guys' opinion on how you might feel if I started to make videos about weight loss. My own personal weight loss. As well as some weight loss stuff maybe for some of you guys if you might be interested to learn. And while not a ton of you were vocal about it, a vast majority of those who were all for it and very supportive. And so this is my first video, my sort of introduction into this whole weight loss thing, as far as talking to you guys about it on my channel. This is an idea I've actually been playing with in the back of my mind for a couple years now, ever since about 2 years ago when I started the keto diet. I was going to make a separate channel called Portly Keto. Yes, Weeks of Thought did go into that name, thank you for asking. Instead, I've decided to make this something that I do on this channel occasionally. It's not going to be overtaking my gaming or tech videos, it's not going to become the primary focus of this channel, it's just going to be sort of a once in a while thing to maybe inform you guys of some stuff, of what I'm learning as I go through this process, as well as hold myself accountable and update those of you who might care or be inspired or motivated by this. So if you're watching this thinking, oh boy, I need to unsubscribe from this dude, he's going to change this into a fitness channel, that's not what's happening at all. I'm still going to be putting out all the videos that you guys love. Anytime I do release a weight loss related video, I'm also going to be sure to release another normal Portly Gamer video that week too. A couple weeks ago I put out a video asking my subscribers to give me feedback on what it is that they want to see, whether they want me to change anything, add anything, stop doing certain videos, and to my surprise a huge number of the comments were basically along the lines of, hey man, we're here for you, you do you, and we will watch it and enjoy it. And so with that in mind, I'm doing this as sort of a way to connect to you guys who really want to get to know me a little bit more, let you into my world a little bit, just, you know, a little bit extra than you might see in my scripted videos or my stupid tech videos where I just ramble on and end the video and that's it. You guys really don't know me all that well because I haven't really put myself out there, and while I'm still going to be careful as far as what I share, I do want to be open and a little more clear about who I am and just sharing myself with you guys a little bit, at least as far as this whole weight loss thing is going to be going. Now, as far as what kind of videos I'm going to be doing, I have some ideas in mind. In addition to just sort of updates and maybe vlogs or Q&As, I have ideas for stuff like video games that help me work out, like VR games. Maybe some food videos where I cook something and it just comes out really bad. Again, these are going to be not super common. This is all just me occasionally updating you guys and talking about my weight loss as this portly gamer attempts to become a little less portly. And as an added bonus, I also hope to maybe use this as a means to motivate some of you guys or inspire you, whether it be you who's currently subscribed or maybe somebody new who stumbles upon my channel because of this video. If you're watching this and you need some motivation, hey, I'm here for you. So let's get into some of the nitty-gritty details about my struggle with weight. So I'm going to begin this weight loss journey by sharing my weight gain journey, because there's a lot. Let's unpack this. We're just going to unpack it all right now. I have been a chubby boy all my life. In fact, I named my channel The Portly Gamer because portly is just a nicer word for fat that has always made me giggle, so literally that much thought went into naming my channel. Surprise! Now I have lost large amounts of weight in the past, so I know I can do it. I just haven't lost like as much as I want to lose now and have to lose now. In high school, I actually lost a lot of weight because, believe it or not, in PE we had to do Tae Bo for a couple months, and I enjoyed it and dropped some weight. For those of you who might not know what Tae Bo is, it was like this series of videotapes and DVDs that you could buy that basically combined aerobics and like kung fu or like martial arts moves that you just did at home. It was created by this dude, Billy Blanks. That dude was the man. And then I was actually given a VHS tape by a friend of a Tae Bo workout that I did at home, like, a lot. This is before the days of YouTube, kids. That, and I played a lot of DDR Max 2 on the PS2. I don't remember how much I weighed and how much I lost, but I just know that that was really the first time in my life. This was freshman year in high school, so I was like 14-ish, and that was really the first time that I had lost like a good chunk of weight. I had really put a serious effort into losing weight. But even back then, even in my younger days, I wasn't that big. I didn't really get as big as I am until my adult life. After freshman year, I gained most of that weight back, if not all, but then in senior year, I took PE again because of a mix-up with the people who were in charge of scheduling my classes, and luckily that was okay because I lost a lot of weight in my last year of high school, so that was nice. I wasn't as fat as I could have been when I graduated, until I gained all of it back and then some and got to 264 pounds, which at the time was the biggest I had been in my life. At the time I thought, wow, that is so much weight. That is 264 pounds. And that is still a lot of weight, but it's less than I weigh now, I'll tell you that. Then finally, when I was around 19 or 20, just through eating a bit better and working 4 to 6 hour shifts at Target pushing carts all day, I lost the most weight I've probably lost in a long time and got to my lowest that I've been in my adult life, which was about 220 or so, which is how much I weigh in the pictures you're seeing here. Forgive me if I spam some pictures of myself thinner. I just like how I looked in my thinner days, so I'm just showing you that I wasn't always this big. Please believe me. But I love food. The pattern repeated, and I ended up getting into a relationship with somebody who also loves food. It's a dangerous combination, folks. And here I am making brownies at her house. That's how it starts, ladies and gentlemen. We continued dating, eventually we got married, and then over 7 years I went from 220 pounds to 352 pounds. The largest, my biggest, that I've ever been. Ever. That 262 is looking like a dream. Now I don't weigh 352 anymore. That was back in January of 2017 when I stepped on the scale before starting the ketogenic diet. After sitting down to Christmas dinner with my dad in 2016, he told us all about the keto diet and explained how much weight he was losing. So I was gung-ho and decided, hey, I'm gonna give that a try. Now for those of you who don't know what the ketogenic diet or the keto diet is, it's basically, in the most simple form of explaining it, it's a low-carb, high-fat diet. So really like sugar, bread, pasta, rice, all that stuff, potatoes, it's gone. But you can eat stuff like bacon, eggs, avocados, if you like disgusting things. And of course there's a lot of healthier, less heavy versions of keto. This is just what people typically say or think of when they think of the keto diet. So we started in January of 2017, and I went down in just 2 or 3 months from 352 to 295. That's a lot. And really fast. And as much as that is nice, it's also kind of unhealthy. I felt fine, but losing a lot of weight really fast is unhealthy. But I'll get more to that in a second. That is 57 pounds. Now keep in mind, a lot of that is water weight, but most of it probably wasn't. I'm losing all this weight just by being sweaty in here, y'all. Important part of beating the summer heat, as well as losing weight, is to make sure you're hydrated. So as I mentioned, that was only from January to March, because in March, we just stopped. It was our anniversary. We went to go to Lucille's barbecue, and, well, it was all downhill from there. Except for the scale, that went up. I went back up to about 328 between then and next January when I started again. And I did keto for about a month at that time, and I did lose some weight, not as much, but I ended up kind of falling off that wagon again. Until about August or so of 2018, keto again, stopped again. We really struggled holding on and staying on that keto wagon. Finally, in January of this year, 2019, we started keto one more time and then fell off again, and then suddenly my wife had her first gallbladder attack. She ended up in the hospital for a couple of days and was in a lot of pain. So because of gallbladder attacks and gallstones and whatnot being sort of triggered by eating a lot of fat, she went from a high-fat diet to suddenly not being able to eat very much fat at all. And me, being the one who primarily cooks, and also just wanting to be supportive and make it all easier on all of us, I decided to tag along and stop the keto diet as well, and just eat low-fat, healthier foods. And we did. We were good on it for like a good month. And then we just started eating whatever we wanted, and that was bad. Because now, I'm back up to my current weight. 345. So I'm not at 352 right now, but I'm almost there. I'm almost back at my starting weight from 2 years ago, and that is so frustrating. I mean, the good news is I was 347 like 2 weeks ago when I first checked, before I started eating better again, and I'm down by 2 pounds, which doesn't seem like much, but I'm trying to take things slow. Losing a lot of weight too fast can take a toll on your body, which can actually, I've heard, cause gallbladder problems too, which, I've never knew that until recently, which just makes me realize how insane my wife's doctor is, because he wanted her to lose like 50 pounds in a month, and I'm like, are you serious? you're a doctor. But not only can it poorly affect your physical health, it can also poorly affect your mental health. Losing weight really fast often is a result of over-restriction. Over-restriction meaning you are just too hard on yourself as far as your caloric intake or intake of a certain macronutrient, as in carbs, fats, and proteins. There's a difference between discipline and over-restriction as one thing that I'm learning. And I'm trying to stay within that balanced line of avoiding over-restriction but also not indulging. So it's a thin line, but I'm trying. And I'm going to be learning from it and sharing those learning experiences with you guys. If you look back at some of my videos, I'll show some clips here, you can kind of see my weight fluctuate. Maybe it's not as obvious, maybe if you've watched this channel a long time you never noticed, but I see it because I know these are periods when I lost weight because of keto and then I stopped and gained some of it back, and I can see that. Or for some videos it just depends on what lens I'm using, because some lenses just make me look fatter no matter what. Even today I feel like I look a little bit slimmer in the camera in my face than I did on last week's video because I'm using a different lens. I don't like that lens. It makes everything look cooler, but it makes me look poofier. You might notice in some of my thinner pictures here that I was always clean shaven. I only really started growing this out as a result of me being too fat and not liking looking at my shaved face, so I grew this out as a way to kind of hide it a little bit. Fooled you guys, surprise, I'm fat. There's this one early video of mine, which I won't tell you which one it is, you can look and find it if you want to, but I decided to just shave, and boy, that was a mistake. There's also one time when I used a beard trimmer, and I didn't have the little plastic guard on, and it ended up shaving like too much off my beard, so I had to shave off the whole beard and I just kept the mustache. That was a rough week, because I had to film a video that weekend because I had a buddy coming over to film it, which that's this one that I'm going to show you right here. And that was also with like the lens that makes my face look a little bit fatter. It was just a combination of bad times, man. This is a bad look. But it's gotten to the point where things really need to change. I mean, things have needed to change for a long time, but I've always been like, you know what, I want some Chipotle though. So instead of that, I've decided to really buckle down and start this. I'm going to be very honest and real with you guys here. In some of my more recent videos, seeing as I get bigger and my face gets bigger and seeing myself on camera, I don't like to look at myself. It's disappointing. As I'm sitting there editing, I'm just looking at it and being like, ugh, my face is just so huge. There are times when I put a picture or footage of something relevant to what I'm talking to over my face in an effort to not only have some visual aid, sure, but also I select certain moments where I feel like my face looks particularly gross because it's so fat. Or there's some times where I'm like, can I get away with just doing voiceover for this video and having no camera shots? Well, I'm tired of it, and it needs to change. It's time. It's past time. So my ultimate goal right now, sitting at 345 pounds, is to hit 200 pounds. And then we'll see where we go from there. But ultimately, I do want to lose 145 pounds and maintain it. And I want to make sure I do it in a healthy way. Again, with no over-restriction, but not being like overly liberal or lenient, because then I'll just eat what I want and fall back into the cycle and just never get anything done and be back here. And I'll have failed, basically, at that point. Now, before anybody in the comments or in my DMs suddenly becomes a doctor or a nutritionist, and you're like, hey, you know what? You should do this. Or, hey, you know what, man? I know that you never mentioned or said that you were going to do this thing, but don't do this thing. I hate when people do that sometimes, because it just sounds like they're being accusatory, assuming that you're going to do a thing that you were never going to do. I know a lot of times those people mean well, but it's annoying, because I know. I know. Now, you may not think it to look at me, but I actually know a lot more about nutrition and diet than you would think. Like I said, I have lost large amounts of weight before. It's just the discipline and the application of that knowledge that I lack. I've learned a lot through doing keto. I've learned a lot through reading and watching all kinds of YouTube videos, like just sitting for hours binge watching YouTube videos on keto back in the day. I've seen just research on sweeteners and artificial sweeteners. I've seen videos about the glycemic index and all these other terms and words that don't come to mind right now. And even recently, I've been sort of binge watching a lot of videos. Binge is a poor choice of words, but I've been binge watching a lot of videos that have just given me this happy, positive outlook toward weight loss that make this feel possible. Keto was too repetitive and restrictive and boring for me. I know there's lots of recipes of stuff you can make. I've got leftover almond flour and coconut flour in my cabinet somewhere. But after a while, I mean, a man can only eat so many eggs, folks. So mainly my approach this time around is to watch my calories. Not be super restrictive on my calories, but to stick as close as I can to what I've calculated in multiple sources for my calorie intake to lose 1 pound a week. I do use an app called MyFitnessPal. I've been using it for years off and on, and you can actually kind of see just my weight go, whoa! So anyway, I'm going to be sticking within my calories. I am going to avoid things like refined and added sugars. I'll take in natural sugars from fruit and stuff like that. I'm also just kind of avoiding fried food, fatty foods, junk food. I'm eating more veggies, more fruits, more things that will fill me up at less calories. Because the fuller you are, and the fewer calories you take in, the less likely you are to eat bad stuff, and that's what I need to avoid. And also, new mentality that I've been learning, and something maybe for you to consider, don't look at foods as bad. If you want pizza, have some pizza. If you want a burger, have a burger. It's all about moderation. I, on the other hand, just need to be careful because I have trouble with moderation, and I'm afraid that if I eat a slice of pizza, I'm going to eat a whole pizza. It happens. Throat's getting a little dry, I'm talking a lot more than I thought I would. So even though my ultimate goal is to hit 200 pounds, one thing that I've learned and that I'd like for a lot of you to consider if maybe you're trying to lose weight is to set small goals. Think of them as like goal checkpoints on the way to your biggest goal. 10 pounds, 20 pounds, 30 pounds. You look at those and you're like, hey, I lost 10 pounds. Hey, I lost another 10 pounds. And it makes you realize that not only are goals achievable and realistic, but next thing you know, those 10 pounds add up and suddenly you've hit your big goal. And you're like, oh my gosh, I did it. Every time I go through this process of getting motivated to lose weight, I'm like, this is it. This is the time. This is when it's going to happen. And then I do a little bit and then I fall out of it and fall back like a month or two later. Well, dang it, this is the time, man. This is gonna happen. I'm gonna be 32 in a couple of months, and it gets harder to lose weight as you get older and things sag more. And so through these videos, maybe through Instagram and a bit through Twitter, if you don't follow me on either of those, it's just The Portly Gamer on Twitter and Instagram. Follow me there. I'm gonna just be updating you guys with smaller updates, smaller pieces of progress, and then occasionally, maybe once a month or every other month, I'll post videos about my weight loss, just weight loss in general on my channel, again, as a bonus video on top of the usual stuff. Now, a lot of the stuff I've been learning, in fact, one of the main channels I've been binge watching as I've been gaining this new outlook and knowledge on nutrition and weight loss is a channel called Jordan Shrinks. I definitely recommend checking out her YouTube channel if you want some ideas and inspiration and information about weight loss and just the way that she looks at weight loss, because she's not like a nutritionist, she's not like this health food guru who just knows everything. She's a normal person. She's like you or me who just sits in front of the camera on YouTube and just talks a lot like I'm doing right now. But she's very smart as somebody who's been there. She was somebody who was 300 pounds and she was fat all of her life. And then in 2016, she lost a ton of weight too fast, and that's how she learned not to lose weight too fast. If you also want to try to lose weight and you've never heard of or never used MyFitnessPal, it's a free app. There's like a paid subscription or something, but you can just download it for free. This is not sponsored, by the way, but you can just put in your age, your height, your weight, how much weight you want to lose per week, and it'll tell you how many calories you need to take in every day in order to meet that goal. So thank you guys for watching this probably long and ranty video. I really appreciate the support for those of you who do want to leave supportive comments and who want to support me and keep me going and keep me motivated. I appreciate you all ahead of time. And I also have the wife supporting me. She's in this too. She's going to be eating better and doing this with me. If you actually want to check out what she's going to be doing, she started an Instagram page that you can follow called No Extra Cheese. I'll just put that right here on the screen. You can follow her on Instagram there if you'd like to, so you can keep up with her as well. And she can also use a lot of support. I've talked enough. Again, any comments you guys have about maybe ideas for videos I can do in the future. Now, if you want to be mean, go ahead, but I'm just going to hide you from the channel because this is not the video to do that on this time, okay? As for the rest of you, thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new. I have to go. It's getting very hot. I want to put all the fans on and open my door. It's very, very warm. Bye.